Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. The demolition exercise going on in Lagos, in which most Igbos believe is targeted at the Igbos in Lagos, has been going on for quite a while now. But the federal government of Nigeria is not saying anything. The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is in control of the federal government of Nigeria, and the Tinubu himself, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is not saying anything. And the federal government has left this matter as a purely Lagos state government affairs that has nothing to do with it. But I beg to disagree that what is going on in Lagos is a national security concern, that both the president and the national security advisor ought to be interested in it and not just leave it as a Lagos state affair. Now, let me say the reason why I think so. National security is a wide concept, and anything that can happen in a country, anything that happens in a country that could lead to a sense of victimization, marginalization, is a national security concern. That is why even poverty is a national security concern. That is why education, ensuring that everybody who is a Nigerian is educated, is a national security concern. Because if all Nigerians are educated, it will enhance better the security situation in the country. It's a wide concept. It involves a lot of things and it involves a lot of people. Now, when you come to a situation where a section of the country felt that they are being selected out or marked out for victimization by a state government, the federal government ought to be interested because it is a national security concern, so that to avert any problems, if not now, in future. The Igbos may look helpless now, but it may not continue to be so. They may look like the lamb that is taken for the slaughter. Nobody cares about them now. It may not continue to be so. But if the right things are done, it means that you are guaranteeing a united nation, a united country at all times. It means that no part of this country is more important than the others, that all parts of Nigeria are major stakeholders in the unity and prosperity of Nigeria. The demolitions have been going on in Lagos. The Lagos state government claimed that the houses being demolished is because they were built in illegal spaces. Now, let us assume, without conceding, that all the Igbo properties that are being demolished in Lagos were all illegally built, and that somehow they just went ahead and built their structures without asking questions, without any contact with the Lagos state government officials, that there were no crooked Lagos state government land administrators who did the survey and did the necessary thing for them, and they just wake up one morning, because they have money in their pocket, they rush and they started building. Now they have finished building 1 year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, or thereabout. Lagos state government say, look, we can't allow you to stay here. We are taking over this place. We are demolishing your structure. Let us assume that that was what happened, that they didn't do any background check on the properties, the lands they bought and erected their structures. Let us assume like that. without considering that that is what happened. Is federal government saying that they don't deserve empathy, they don't deserve compensation, that they will just leave them like that and they think that it is okay in their own analysis of national security, in their own analysis of a united nation, in their own analysis of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying that we are all one family. The only thing, we are all one family living in the same house, all of us living in different rooms. Are the Igbos part of those living in the same room that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is talking about? Living in the same building? And are the Igbos among those who occupy some of the rooms in this Nigeria family that Bola Ahmed Tinubu used to talk about? And said that we are all one family, living in the same building, in the same house, but occupying different buildings. In that building he was talking about, are the Igbos occupying any of those rooms? And if they are occupying those rooms, why is he silent about what is going on in Lagos? And somebody will say, okay, what do you want the federal government to do? Federal government should intervene and get Lagos state government to find a way out to compensate them. There is a need to compensate them. And that compensation must be well articulated, well written down, and binding on Lagos state government to compensate them for their losses. This is not the first time federal government of Nigeria will intervene in a situation like this, all in the effort to ensure a united Nigeria. So federal government cannot continue to be aloof over what is happening in Lagos and pretend that it is just a Lagos affair. Even the National Security Advisor ought to be aware that what is going on in Lagos, where there is a preponderance of perception that is targeted at the Igbos, and that the idea of using the media to say that it wasn't targeted at the Igbos is not convincing enough to a whole lot of people. And that there should be compensation for the losses they have suffered and continue to suffer as a result of the demolition of their properties. So federal government has to wade into this matter. Another one that federal government had to wade into is, another reason also federal government had to wade into, not all the demolitions are Lagos state government demolition. There is a demolition going on in a land allegedly belong to the Federal Housing Authority, in which there are demolition houses, in which also the preponderance of those affected were said to be of Igbo extraction. Now that property is owned by Federal Housing Authority, that land allegedly. Now if that is the case, federal government cannot continue to claim that it's not aware of what Federal Housing Authority is doing. Demolition those mansions allegedly standing on the way of a road. There is a need for federal government to compensate them, to know that they belong to a country that cares for them. After all, if we can be able to be compensating the Boko Harams, repentant Boko Harams, the militants and all that, those who built on illegal structures allegedly deserve compensation too. They deserve to be compensated. But they should be, and the people should be told, next time when you are building, make sure you don't build in where you're not supposed to build. But for those who have already been victims, they ought to be compensated. After all, we know it, that in every place that federal government applies, or the state government apply the Land Use Act in taking over people's land and properties, they pay compensation. They pay compensation to them. Even the land that is there now, if federal government were to take over those land, if the Lagos state government were to take over those land and there were nothing planted on, there was nothing built on it, that they are just vegetation or economic trees, federal government will still find out those who own the ancestral land and pay them compensation for their economic trees. And if there were any structures there, federal government or state government will pay the compensation for taking over the land in the interest, in public interest. Now, if government can do that under the Land Use Act, then let it be taken by Lagos state government and the federal government that they are repossessing a land that is not supposed to be they are repossessing the land in which these Igbos built this property, but pay them compensation so that they will know that they are not being victimized. Because they are believing that if this thing had happened to other people, federal government would have done something. If it had happened to others in Lagos, Lagos state government would have done something, paid compensation. That is what the government should do. For a government that inherited a highly divisive country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is supposed to show example by ensuring that all parts of Nigeria see themselves as belonging to one country, belonging to one entity. Like he used to say it, that all are one family, living in the same building, all of us occupying different rooms. If the Igbos are part of the people occupying rooms in the building, in the Nigerian building that Tinubu used to talk about, they deserve compensation in what is going on in Lagos. Federal government cannot continue to be aloof to what is going on there. It's a national security concern. Therefore, federal government intervention is needed. These people deserve to be compensated. They are not supposed to lose everything, either because of their own mistakes or the mistakes or the deliberate mischief of Lagos state government officials who looked the other way when they started building those houses. Because I will assume that the development control mechanism in Lagos, those who are supposed to move around, that when they see a structure being put where it's not supposed to be, they're supposed to tell them, look, you can't build this place, so that they will stop even at the foundation level. But they allow them to build these structures for several years. They have contemplated the building, living there and all that. All of a sudden, they now emerge out of the blues and come and tell them that it's illegal structures. They deserve compensation. Federal government should compensate them. Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration should intervene in what is going on in Lagos and not leave it as a Lagos problem. It has gone beyond Lagos state. It is a matter that even the Ohanese have waded into the matter, and still the demolition is going on unabated. That's my take. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. And meanwhile, under this video, there are links that can take you to Jumia online shopping. Anything you bought through that link, you are going to get 40% off from the normal price. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.